I'm starting with is a bait that's been around since 1991. It's called the Rico bait. It's called the Rico Suave is what I'm demonstrating today. And so it's got a lot of rattles in it, and it attracts the fish, calls them up, you know, so you can hear this thing when it's coming through the water. All the pros usually don't throw a topwater in this thing here because they usually won't come up and hit this. I ran this in here Thursday and they came up and hit it. So let's just see if these fish will hit this. The only thing is it doesn't walk good. A Rico, those of you that have fished for a long time, how many of you know about the Rico? Okay, so you got a number of hands here, people that have fished the Rico, the Rio Rico, but they've always had this lure called the Rico Suave. It is a spitting, walking bait, like this. And it's been kind of just not advertised and just out there, so I'm gonna bring this out to live. I'm gonna do videos on it and show you guys that this is a really good bait that's been hidden for a while that they haven't seen. Now this won't walk real good because of all these bubbles and stuff like this. So I'm gonna throw it out there and just see if we can get a fish just to come up and look at it. I'll throw it over to the right hand side. Whoa, there's a strike already. Hadn't had that thing out very far, huh? So the idea is to keep it going like this, walking back and forth. Because the rattles are so loud in there, it brings the fish up. It calls them up. So we had one strike right off the bat, first cast. I hope that wasn't an omen because, oh, there's another bite. I didn't even, oh, there's another bite. Oh boy. So they're hitting it today. So they hear those BBs down there magnified in the water. Nothing coming down here, huh? Okay. Seems like all the fish that are hitting are back in that far, far corner. Of course, you guys know there are no hooks on there. If I'd have known Ken was gonna walk off, I'd have stuck some hooks on and we could have caught our own little fish over here in the corner. Let's try one way back in the corner. You guys notice that? Look at that, I'm not even working that bait. I could tell you that on the Rico, that's one of the secrets that I have. If you go with me on a guide trip and it's topwater season like right now, I always have a Rico tied on to my customer's bait, always, all year long, because it's one of the best topwater baits that's been made for the last 30 years. That's something to say about it. So sometimes these baits, when you throw them out, it's like a worm. It's just called dead sticking it. So we'll just throw that out. We'll just let that sit there. And maybe just a twitch, just to look like, it's looking like, whoa, that was a good strike. You guys seeing that on the surface down there? Can you guys see that? They're hitting this thing, they're liking it today. Yeah, if the bubbles weren't pushing this away, I could get this thing to walk a little bit and it would be a little bit better. I'll tell you what, when the season's coming on with this what is happening right now, because we have so much dirty water and stuff, fish are sight fishers, and they will on topwaters. So, but we do have Lake Pleasant, which is crystal clear. You can see 15 feet down. So we'll just walk this a little bit more. But this is a good bait, and they also make the Rico and the Rico, the popping bait and the Rio Rico. I guess I can't get that fish to come up. He says, boy, I can't eat that thing. It won't go back down. So we give it one more try, way out in the back. There you go. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for just a minute. Oh, see that? Never even moved it and a fish hit it. So let that be a lesson to you when you throw a topwater bait and you throw that Rico, always throw it out and let it sit there. Last year I could tell you about a little story at Roosevelt. I had these two brothers, 77 years old apiece from Tucson, and we went to Roosevelt. In the first hour and a half, the fish were biting good. They were all biting. But as the sun comes up, fish have no eyelids, so it's hard for them to see. But these guys were storytellers. I mean, it was a blast having them on. I felt sorry that I had to charge them because they had so many stories to tell. So after the sun came up, it was like 9:30, and they're throwing their Ricos out there, and they're just talking away. They're not doing nothing, and all of a sudden I'm going, hey, start reeling, you got one on. You know, they would come up and hit that feather on the back. This doesn't have a feather, but the Ricos have it, the lure baits. And it was really good. We ran that lure catching fish till about 10:30, and it was after that, it set precedence for me for the rest of my guide trips. I kept catching fish till 10:30, 11 o'clock. All through the rest of the season. So without them doing that, talking and letting that thing sit there, it would have never happened. So I'll show this to you when we come down. You know, it's going to be a neat little bait for you to try out. There's some places here in the valley that carry this. Phoenix Fishing over on 16th Street carries this. Liar's Corners carry it. It's over there by Apache Junction. And we're going to work on a few other places to get this in. So it'll be more readily. Tackle Warehouse, if you guys shop at Tackle Warehouse, you know that you can buy just about anything there. They carry this also. They carry all three of the Ricos over there.